Hi, and welcome to this yoga practice. If you do need any piece of equipment for this practice, it is just a pillow or a rolled up towel to rest your head on when we're in side lying. So you can pause the video and go grab that now if you think your neck might like that, and just leave it to the side of your mat. We're going to start off today's practice lying on our backs with our knees bent. We're going to start with breathing. So have a little lie back. Today for the breathing practice, we're going to place one hand on our breastbone and one hand just above our belly button, so towards the lower rib cage. Then just relax the arms and try and let go of any tension in the upper body if you can. I'm going to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose or mouth. And for the next 3 breaths, I just want you to become aware of the movement of your chest as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Now for the next 5 breaths, we're going to try and direct our breath down deep into the bottom of our lungs. So when we breathe in, we feel that hand on our belly rise first and most. Breathing out fully. As you inhale, feel the hand on your belly rise. And as you exhale, notice it soften and recoil back. 3 more breaths like this. Breathing in, sending the air down deep into the bottom of the lungs. Breathing out, letting the lungs empty. Last breath, breathing in through the nose, down deep, feeling that hand on the belly rise. Breathing out through the nose or mouth. Relax your hands, and then we're going to bring our hands to the back of our right thigh. We're going to do a little bit of sciatic nerve mobility. So we can start with the right heel at your bum, and as you inhale, reach that heel up towards the ceiling, straightening the knee as much as you comfortably can, and then exhale to lower it back down. If you are too tight and you cannot reach your hands behind your thigh, I suggest using a towel and just holding the sides of the towel. As you reach the heel up towards the ceiling, pull the toes down towards your head and chest. Notice any feelings or sensations through the back of the leg, calf area, foot area. It's normal to feel a little bit tight in the back of the leg. And also if you're a little bit tight, you might feel a little bit of a shake like my leg is doing. Two more movements to get that sciatic nerve moving and sliding and gliding. Then place the right foot down. Let's pick the left foot up. So hands behind the thigh. If you want to use a towel, hold the towel. Start with the heel at the bum, and then inhale as you straighten out the knee as much as you can and reach that heel up towards the ceiling, and then lower the heel back down towards your bum. While we're doing these stretches, we're going to keep a nice neutral lumbar spine. So there should be a space between your lower back and the floor, and at no stage should your lower back flatten and press down into the floor. So we're mobilizing the sciatic nerve, which comes from your lower back, but we're moving the part of it that is in your leg. So runs all the way down the back of the leg, calf, and into your foot. Keep the toes pulling down towards your chest at the end of the stretch. And we're just going to go for 2 more. Placing that left foot down and then getting into a little bit of a stretch for the hips now. Place your right ankle on your left thigh. And again, if you want to use that towel to pull, you can place it around the back of your left thigh to pull it in. Or if you can, place your hands around the back of your left thigh. You're going to push your right elbow into your right thigh. You should feel a little bit more of a stretch now through the back of your right butt cheek. If it feels comfortable for you, you can do a little gentle rock of the pelvis left and right while you're in this stretch. And again, focusing on your breathing in this stretch, breathing in through the nose, down deep into the belly, and breathing out fully through the nose or mouth. Noticing how that right hip feels. And then we're going to swap it over and check out the left one. So pop your left foot on your right thigh, pull the right thigh into your chest, whether your hands or a towel or a strap. And again, just notice, is there a difference between sides? So oftentimes we are tighter on one side and it's just a result of life. Just taking note. Rocking the pelvis from side to side if that's comfortable for you. Nudging that left thigh away with that left elbow if that feels good. And then placing that leg down, we're going to have a roll onto our side to continue moving that sciatic nerve, but also to wake up the muscles around the back of our hip. So we're going to start with both knees bent just below hip level. You're going to have a little dip in your lower back. And we don't want this waist lazy and falling into the ground. So think about lifting your waist away from the floor, or you can think about pulling the top hip long towards the end of your mat. And then when we're here, we're going to take the top leg off and we're going to start with the toes pointed and one knee over the other knee. From here, pull the toes up towards you, reach out through that heel, and then press the heel all the way back until that leg is in line with the rest of your body. Imagine the heel being pulled away from you, so you're creating length through your whole side. Point the toes to bring the leg forward. Don't let that waist collapse. And then toes towards your head, reach the heel out and press it all the way back again. You can have your top hand resting on the glute muscles on that top leg. And as you push out through the heel and push back through the heel, you should feel those glute muscles tense. We're going to go for 6 more of these. This is also a nice movement to mobilize that sciatic nerve that runs all the way down the back of the leg. We're keeping the waist lifted and keeping our back in neutral. This means that there's a little dip in the lower back. It's not flattened out. Last 3 repetitions, you should start to feel that top glute or butt muscle now. And last one. Notice how the legs feel, and we're going to move on to the other side. So you can just have a roll onto your other side if that's okay, or you can turn so you can still see me. If you prefer a little visual cues, you're going to have the waist lifted, a dip in the lower back, and knees just below hip level. Take the top leg off, reach out through the heel, and then press back through the heel. Imagine that top leg being pulled away from you. It really helps to activate your glute. Point the toes as you bring the leg forward. All that movement is coming from the hip joint. You can have your top hand on the hip joint to help you feel. Reach out through the heel and push back. Having the hand on top of the glute muscles, you should be able to feel them tense and start to work. Point the toes coming forward. All the movement comes from the hip. And then reach out through the heel and push back. The whole time you're doing this exercise, if you could almost picture a light shining out of your kneecap, it should be shining straight ahead. It should never turn down towards the floor. And we've got 3 more repetitions on this leg, getting the hip to move, mobilizing that sciatic nerve, and activating those glute muscles to help your posture. And relax the leg, give the glute a little bit of pat if it needs it. And then we're going to move into a little bit of a flow and changing the focus away from our glutes and hips, more to our upper body and abdominals. We're going to come forward into a plank. You can have your little pillow to the side or place it at the top of your mat. We're going to spread all 10 fingers and press them down into the mat. Imagine pushing your chest away from the mat and creating length all the way from the crown of your head down through your tailbone. When you're here, breathe in through your nose, down deep into the belly, and then breathe out fully. Here for 2 more breaths. Building a little bit of tension through the upper body, shoulders in a good way, and the abdominals. And then we're going to bring that left arm, forearm, down onto the mat. Place your left elbow under your left shoulder. And we're going to roll our whole body so our weight is down through that left leg. The knees stay bent, lift the hips, place your right hand on your breastbone and think about it shining straight ahead. Head is in line with the rest of your spine. And here we should feel the muscles in the side of our body working and a little bit around that left shoulder. You're here for 3 breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Waking up the muscles of the shoulder and the back of the shoulder especially that support us, and our tummy muscles. And then resting down onto our side, keeping the knees bent, left arm reaches forward, and you can rest your head on that pillow if you have one. Pop your right hand on top of your left, and we're going to slide that right hand along your left arm towards your breastbone. And once it gets to the breastbone, start to turn your chest and your head and your neck to the right. Open that right arm out onto the ground. You do not need to pin your legs down. If you're a little tight and they want to lift, just let them lift. And then bring that right arm back onto your breastbone. Start to turn your chest towards that left hand again. Reach your right arm slightly past your left. And going through just 2 more of these, just taking your time, moving where you're comfortable, not forcing it. It shouldn't feel like a really strong stretch, like you're pulling yourself apart. It's just getting your shoulder blade, shoulder and trunk all moving nice and smoothly. And then from there, we're going to plant that right hand, push ourselves up, plant the left hand, and come back into our little modified plank. So knees down, hips pressed forward, and think about those front ribs connected in towards your tummy. And from here, feel your shoulder blades hug your upper back. Press through all 10 fingers. So waking up all of the muscles that support our posture of our upper body. Here for 2 breath cycles. Then bringing that right forearm down onto the ground, getting your elbow underneath your shoulder, having a roll onto your side. From here, we're going to lift the hips up off the ground, press down through the right forearm. Put your left hand on your breastbone and get it lifting so it's looking straight ahead. It shouldn't be pointed down to the ground. If it's comfortable for you, you can reach the top hand up, or if it's comfortable for you, you can reach it past your ear over your head. And you're here for 3 more breath cycles, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lifting the hips away from the floor. Then lowering the hips back down, resting your head on the pillow, and we're going to go for our open book stretch. So left hand goes on top of right hand. You're going to slide the left hand along your right arm to your chest and then roll your chest over to the left and open it out to the side. Bring that left hand back across your breastbone, turn your chest and reach the left arm kind of past your right fingertips a little bit. And we're going to go for just 2 more here, and this is just easy movement of your upper back, shoulder and shoulder blade. Then we're going to press back into our little plank. So left hand on the ground, then right hand. You can get rid of your pillow now. Coming into our last little plank, and here you have the option to make it a little bit more difficult. If you are comfortable, you can put your toes down and float your knees up, or you can keep the knees on the ground. We're here for 5 breath cycles. You're going to spread the fingers, push down through the index finger and thumb especially. Think about pressing your chest away from the floor. Shoulder blades hug down the upper back, hug the back of your rib cage. Front ribs hug in towards the tummy. And just here for one last breath cycle. Lower the knees back to the ground, keep the toes tucked. And from here, we're going to go back into a downward facing dog. So press through those hands one last time. Lift the hips up and back. A last little stretch through the back of the legs here. You can do a little pedal of the heels if it feels good for you. So bending one knee as you press the other heel down towards the ground and just alternating that movement. And then keeping soft knees, we are going to slowly walk our feet up towards our hands. So you're going to take a little step with the right, a little step with the left. Keeping the knees quite bent. You can come onto your fingertips if you feel a little tight here. Walking all the way up. Take a hold of your elbows and we're just going to let ourselves hang. So allow your belly to kind of rest into your thighs. Keep a nice soft bend in your knees. You're going to inhale in through your nose, down deep into your belly. And then exhale fully, almost sigh out through your mouth. Let the arms dangle towards the floor. On your next breath in, press your hands in against your shins and lift up halfway. Imagine your whole upper body being parallel to the floor, sticking your bum out behind you. On your next breath out, fold forward over the feet. And as you inhale, press into the feet, keep the knees bent. Use your hands if you need to. Come all the way up. Inhale to reach your arms overhead. And then bring the hands down, placing one on your breastbone and one just above your belly button. And while you're here, we're going to bring ourselves back to our breath to finish this practice. Breathing in through the nose, down deep into the lower lungs, towards the belly. And then breathing out fully. 3 more breaths here, focusing on the movement of that hand on the lower rib cage as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Then give your arms a little shake out by your sides. Open your eyes if you had them closed for that last bit of breathing. And you're all finished your yoga practice. Well done.